Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more real-life betrayal stories. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you would have done in my situation. I never thought a single sentence could feel like a blade, but hers did. It was dinner. Our small apartment softly lit by the flickering candle I'd lit, because I wanted the night to be special. I poured her wine, tried to catch her eyes across the table, and she leaned back, smirking ever so slightly. Then she whispered, almost casually, "Even if I stay out all night, I don't owe you an explanation." For a moment, I laughed nervously, thinking it was some weird joke, but the way she looked at me, cold, unbothered, made my chest tighten. Something in her tone was sharp, deliberate, and I could feel it slicing to the years of comfort I believed in. I forced myself to swallow the panic that threatened to rise. "Okay, I guess," I muttered, though my voice sounded hollow. Even to me, the nights that followed were small, creeping hints of betrayal. Missed calls. Her phone, always pressed against her hip, buzzing silently in her palm. She'd lock it when I walked past. Excuse after excuse ready if I questioned it. "Work emails," she'd say. Or, "You're imagining things." And maybe at first, I wanted desperately to be wrong. I wanted her to be honest, to tell me I was imagining paranoia born from exhaustion and stress. But every time she laughed a little too long at a text, every time she ducked her phone when I approached, doubt sharpened like ice in my stomach. I started noticing other things. The way she glanced around corners, the sudden tightness in her jaw when I mentioned plans, the faint perfume she claimed was from work that smelled of someone else. The more I tried to rationalize it, the less sense it made. I remembered our morning coffees, the quiet evenings on the couch. How easily those memories now felt like lies I convinced myself were real. It was late one Thursday night. I'd gone to bed early, pretending to sleep after another day of silent suspicion. The living room light flicked on. She tiptoed in, whispering to someone on the phone, the words barely audible. I froze, heart hammering, until the phone slipped from her hand. I shouldn't have looked, but I did, and that's when it all unfolded. Text to a name I didn't recognize, but the messages spoke volumes. Planned stolen kisses, inside jokes I'd never be part of. The betrayal wasn't loud. It was deliberate, quiet, suffocating. I couldn't breathe. I felt dizzy. Every laugh we'd shared, every kiss that had felt sacred, now felt contaminated by her lies. I confronted her the next morning, not with rage, not with screaming, but with the cold, hollow voice of someone who had just discovered a truth too heavy to ignore. I showed her the messages. I watched her eyes widen, watched the mask slip. She didn't deny it at first, only said, "I didn't mean for you to find out like this." Her explanation, or maybe excuse, cut through me differently than I expected. She spoke of excitement, of feeling trapped, of being unseen. I listened, nodding silently, each word a stone in my chest. I wanted to scream, wanted to demand loyalty, to reclaim the years she'd casually thrown away. But there was no shouting. There was just this hollow, aching realization. Love alone couldn't erase betrayal. In the days that followed, I wandered through our apartment like a ghost. I traced her scent lingering on the pillows, ran my hands over the countertop she had polished so many times, tried to remember the warmth that had existed here. And failing, I realized that trust, once fractured, becomes unrecognizable. Every laugh, every gentle word, felt laced with uncertainty. I had to make a choice, hold on to something poison, or reclaim my dignity. One evening, I packed her things into a box, quiet and deliberate. When she returned, she saw me waiting, expression blank. No yelling, no begging, just me, standing with the weight of all she had broken. Her mouth open to explain, to justify, to plead, but I couldn't listen anymore. I said calmly, "You don't owe me anything, but I owe myself peace." I watched her leave, the door clicking shut, and for the first time in months, I could breathe without pain pressing against my ribs. It didn't feel like victory. It felt like survival, like reclaiming a piece of my soul she had almost destroyed. The apartment felt emptier, quieter. But in that silence, I found something I hadn't felt in years. Strength. The heartbreak lingered. Yes, and it would for a long time. But I knew that I could rebuild piece by piece, without the shadow of lies hanging over me. Love had betrayed me, but self-respect had saved me. So, if you ever felt doubt gnaw at your heart, if you've ever wondered whether love is enough to forgive betrayal, remember this. It isn't weakness to walk away. It's courage. And sometimes, the hardest goodbye is the most liberating hello to yourself. Before you leave, subscribe for more stories that hit harder than betrayal itself. And tell me in the comments, would you have stayed or walked away the way I did?